The tax that changed everything in the year 1696. On a foggy morning in London, old Mr. Harold Thompson woke up coughing again. His small brick house felt damp and dark. He lit his candle and sighed as he looked at the walls where his windows used to be. You see, the King of England had imposed a window tax. It sounded harmless. Pay a tax depending on how many windows your house had. The richer you were, the more windows you had. So the government thought it fair. But to people like Mr. Thompson, it was a curse. Mr. Thompson was a bookbinder who spent all day in his small workshop. When the tax collectors first knocked on his door, he was shocked. 3 extra shillings for those windows, they said sternly. 3 shillings was half a month of bread. The next day, he hired 2 young lads to brick up half of his windows. His home turned dark. The sunlight no longer fell on his reading chair. He stitched books by candlelight, squinting until his eyes watered. All over London, families began bricking up their windows to avoid paying the tax. Tall townhouses looked like blind giants. Walls covered with bricked squares where windows used to be. Years passed. Diseases like typhus and smallpox spread faster in those dark, airless rooms. Children grew up pale and weak, but the tax collectors still came, counting the windows that remained. One winter evening, Mr. Thompson sat by his small remaining window, trying to read a letter from his son who worked in the Navy. He could barely see the ink in the dying light. He thought, why must light be taxed? The sun is free, but its entry into my home costs me so dearly. Finally, in 1851, more than 150 years later, the window tax was repealed. People cheered as they knocked down bricks and let sunlight flood their homes again. For the first time in generations, London became a city of bright windows and fresh air. Mr. Thompson never lived to see it, but his great-grandchildren would sit by wide-open windows, reading his old stitched books in the warm daylight, never knowing that once upon a time, their ancestors had to pay for every ray of sun that touched their skin.